Hello, fellow engineers. This is Freedom here speaking, and today we have Tivon James, and also we have another guest here. Hopefully, who'll be coming around more often. Chris Gerald. Is that how you say your last name, Gerald?
Yeah, Gerald,
Gerald.
that's
Okay,
right.
or we could call him just CJ. This seems easier.
Uh, Probably easier. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we got a couple things to get into today. We got more details about the Gundam live action movie. We also got some pictures that show progress of the new Gundam statue that's almost actually finished over in Japan, and so much more. Oh man! All right, so you guys seen the early concept footage of the live action Gundam movie so far? The of the Gundam.
All we got was that
Uh,
picture, right?
That's it. No other news. No other
yeah.
words.
I've seen the picture of it. And it's supposed to be directed by is it the King Kong director or something?
King Kong. Yeah. I actually had
Oh,
his.
that's pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
the Kong Skull Island to be exact. He is known for
yeah.
his dark imagery, which that's what kind of gives me a little bit more hope on
I mean
this.
that's kind of what it's all about with anything really Gundam related. At least for the older stuff, that's kind of what it was grown on.
Yeah. Now, my only thing, as soon as I saw the picture, the only one thing came into mind was that how in the world are they going to fit the whole 1 year war into one movie?
Do you think they're gonna try and condense it into one movie, or try
I
and maybe split it up?
maybe. See, my thing is like, look at Hathaway's. You ever seen Hathaway's Flash?
Like three times actually. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's freaking great. Um, but the thing with Hathaway's Flash is that it's being separated into three movies.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, the image looks great. I mean, it is an early concept. I could tell it looks, the Gundam looks like it just coming out of a battle, like it just been beaten. By the way, the director's name is Jordan Roberts.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So right now, like the reason why I'm worried is because the Cowboy Bebop TV show, live action TV show, it's not
hmm
doing that well in terms of reviews. Last I checked, about 38% Rotten Tomatoes.
I've actually not seen
Yeah,
it.
like Cowboy Bebop itself.
Uh, okay. Yeah. Let's not come after me, but no, I've actually not seen the original show it was based off of, nor the movie, but I've heard about what you're talking about,
And
yes.
ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our podcast. This is the last episode of Chris Gerald. No,
Wait,
I'm
wait,
kidding.
wait, 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 no. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
All
Um,
right.
I have been told I need to watch it. It's like a staple of, the whole culture, and it's very good.
Oh, the
I've
art
not
still.
ever watched it.
Oh man, it still holds out today. What do you?
I agree.
Yeah, it still holds out today, man. And that's the crazy part because not a lot of anime could hold out the way it did. Um, Especially throughout its time. But I mean, Timon, like you're sitting here quiet, bro. I mean, what do you think?
Well, I was just actually looking at the pictures of the movie. So the Gundam looks like it's so when it comes to the show, the first show, I think it's a staple.
Mm-hmm.
Like even to this day, the character development, the depth, the music. Oh, don't even get me started. The music of that show, absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely insane. Just I don't know. There's no shows like I like how like the first show Zeta Gundam, even the early shows like what do you call it? The OVAs, War in the Pocket,
Yeah,
8th MS
Double O
Team.
Eighty.
They
Yeah,
had
yeah.
such good music, and I like that's what I hope this new movie captures. And from what I'm seeing about the mobile suit itself, I'm glad they played a little bit safe. It looks like they kept it with the simplistic slash detailed design where there's a lot of details into it, but the overall shape and overall panels are from a more basic, a more RX-78 esque design. So I'm glad about that. It looks good. The mobile suit looks like the proportions look good. Doesn't look anything outlandish. Pardon
Um,
my bias, but I think shows like Double O and stuff like that, Double O and what you call it, Iron Blooded Orphans, as cool as Barbados and XCL look and all that, I think it's a bit too much. It's a bit too. It doesn't capture the war machine look that RX-78 had, or that the Zaku's had, and all that stuff in the
I'm,
first in the
I don't know
UC
about
and all
that. I
that.
mean, have you watched Iron Blood Orphans? There's legit mobile suits crushing another person's cockpit alive. I think
Yeah, but
that's
it
pretty
doesn't.
scary.
But the designs of the mobile suits don't make sense. You wouldn't have the internals exposed like that realistically. It does not make
Realistically, you're
sense.
right. Yeah, realistically, you're right.
It's
I
too.
think
It's amazing. The design is amazing.
That's
It's just
like
creative, but it's not realistic. It
that's
doesn't give me
like
that
it's like
realistic.
a tank with an open skeleton. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know what you're saying.
I think one of the magical things about, like the original show, for example, or just kind of some of the ones that came after it is that, obviously not like right now or anything. Some of this stuff is honestly kind of feasible at some point in time.
Hmm.
You don't see anything like Barbados probably existing with, the ridiculous like 50-ton giant javelin or anything like that. But,
Hmm.
something like this is more feasible. I would say. I mean, we've already got statues that are like life size and can move to some extent, but you know, I've got to say, probably the only real critique I've got on the image is how much those beam sabers look like soda cans. I mean, they're kind of they're like they. Okay, you're lying to me if you say those do not look kind of huge.
They are massive. They better be some sort of shorter cannons, like on like the
The gun
like cannon,
tanker,
like how like kind of like the same idea as gun cannon, except like more akin to double Zeta. How like its swords can be used as guns, as cannons, so
yeah,
like it hunches over and fires over like that. I hope
yeah,
that's what it is because there's no need for the handle to be that massive
yeah. I mean,
unless
it
it's like
looks
a high
like
powered one or something.
it looks like he's gonna launch a Sprite cranberry at you or something.
Also, guys, quick note, like real quick, you can find us on Discord. You can find us on Spotify. Spotify usually will take 24 hours. So always expect any episodes, new upcoming episodes, to be on Spotify within 24 hours of any live stream after YouTube. And then as for Apple, I'm still working with Apple. It's weird. Um, so Apple is like a little timely manner sort of thing for some reason. But once they're through, we will be on Apple Podcasts as well. And as of now, I'm actually am working with Google Podcast as well. So we're going to be trying to go on all platforms. Um, we're even going on Rumble or any other sort of streaming service as well. So, like I said, we're going to be available all platforms, hopefully as soon as possible. That is my main mission. Oh, yep. So
You
yeah,
heard it
like,
here first.
huh?
You heard it here first.
Yep, that's right. You heard it here first. And CJ, by the way, is one of those guys who is one of those first-time listeners. I'm sorry, long-time listeners, but first-time caller kind of people. So, um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So like, yeah, just guys, give us a thumbs up for CJ over here. You know, he's a great guy. And but guys, any topics, anything you guys want to talk about? If you guys have your own inputs of what the live-action Gundam, is to you, just comment, and subscription is definitely appreciative. By the way, it goes a long way,
Yeah.
and it keeps us going for hopefully another future episode, which we plan on keeping this going as long as we can. So, yeah, I just want to make a note of that. But the thing about the live action Gundam, I'm hoping it has a budget and
A proper budget, you mean?
a proper
Um,
budget. Yeah,
Mm.
where
so
I understand, like, if it's a TV show, I will tend to understand, if they have some type of limitation, but hopefully not to where like every episode looks like a G Savior rerun.
I was about to throw that one out there. Like,
Oh
look,
man.
I know we were all thinking it. I was just gonna see who was gonna bring it up first. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping we're staying away from. No green screen of a guy sitting in his dining room table chair, pretending like he's in a fight. So hopefully
Calling
none of that.
Azaku.
Yeah, like I said, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, actually, what was that one? I think it was from a game, and they called the Zaku a Ziku, and Xeon for like they call it for John. They call it Xeon John.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Who
And,
did this? Which last who?
I think it was a game, like an arcade. Like they had Char dressed up like he had his Max. Like it was like a paper mache looking Max that you would buy from a Dollar Tree or something.
My goodness.
Yeah, it was. It made G Savior look like a AAA title movie.
I never thought
Wow.
I'd hear those words in the same sentence
Oh,
though.
I know. But then again, I think they acted better in that one, not G Savior, the other one. Um, oh man, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that's really all I got to say. The new Gundam. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. The torso, I believe, is completed, and they got like a stick figure standing, with a big old torso in the middle of. Actually, I don't believe I know the location of where the new Gundam statue is going to be at. I presumed where Unicorn was at, but yeah, it doesn't match the color. It was black. They're making it like a navy blue, but I think I get it. Navy blue. When it comes at night, it tends to it's like one of those shades of color that gets darker. So
Yeah.
maybe that's where they're going with it, but
If I remember right, they're building it without the funnels, right?
yeah, they're building without a funnels, but it's weird. It has like a gun or a booster behind it. It's weird. It's like
Yeah.
it's like one of the booster shields like the Hazels use, but mixed with a Wing Zero's Buster Cannon.
Huh. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And did I have too much NyQuil one night before I went to sleep, or are they actually building or at least planning like a freedom statue in China somewhere?
Oh, they already built that, I think.
Oh, did they? Okay,
Yeah, I think
okay.
they're even planning on making the Strike Freedom.
Oh, I'm
Not
a little bit
surprised.
behind on some of this stuff. Forgive me.
Yeah, the irony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, no.
it's gonna be painted red and yellow.
Oh, with stars all over it.
Ridiculous.
Gonna have one erected in Tiananmen Square.
It's going to be called the kind of free Gundam.
No, no.
Nah, nah. Just messing with
Oh,
everybody. All right. Really, that's really all I got for news. I mean, there's not much going on with the live action Gundam movie except they dropped the early concept. Now, again, that is the early concept, so expect changes. It might become better, it might become worse. I kind of don't want to have another Sonic moment.
yeah. Hopefully they'll tone down the soda cans in the back a little bit, but overall, I think I'm pretty impressed by that concept art.
So, what do you guys think, movie or show?
Hmm.
I think for them to really get a good coverage of the actual, story itself, they would have to go with the show. But with as much CGI as they would have to have, I don't see it happening really.
It says here that the director is showing off his emotional chats with a childhood tale, Kings of Summer. Director sets to dive in the war between the Earth Federation and the Principality of Xeon in a live-action movie for Netflix. So it's a movie.
Yeah,
It's going to be set in the one-year war between Xeon and the Earth Federation. Now, now he actually did the post. Now, he posted on Twitter saying, "The people of Earth do nothing but pollute it. Their souls are weighed down by gravity." This is what he posted. "It's an absolute dream to reunite with my filmmaking family at Legendary," which Legendary is the one who's producing the movie. "As we
yeah,
are partnered with Netflix, the only studio capable of birthing a Sunrise NC7. I don't know. I think that's code. Gundam movie." And then he's passing out. He's passing out hashtags. Zig Zeon. Zig Zeon. Anyone who
At least he's
knows,
on the right team.
yeah, and he is a Gundam fan. He does have model kits in his home. He has
Oh
shown them off.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's what gives me hope. Is because one, Sunrise, when they agreed to do this movie, they're like, we agree. However, is basically, we're going to approve it. So from what I assume, they're in a very tight thumb. They're a very short leash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Legendary can't do anything unless Sunrise is okay with it.
Yeah, that's my understanding from the little bit that I've read on it as well. And really, if you want to open up a story like this, you kind of need to have it close on the reins, anyways, to the original story. Because I don't know, maybe it's just me being biased, but it really is kind of a powerful story, and what its meaning is. Once you get down to like the roots of it, it's basically just getting down to how awful people can be, and towards each other, and wars, doing awful things to the world and to ourselves, and anyways, just you really need to go into it. It needs its
No,
own
no, you're
budget.
absolutely right. What a lot of people don't know is that Gundam is very anti-war.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Ironically
why,
enough,
yeah, that's why it gets into the political aspects of, like, you see all the older politicians like, let's go to war, but yet you see the young fight. And
exactly.
yeah, and it shows, like, basically the repercussions. It shows who gets involved, and it's basically showing the old generation that starts a war has the new generation fight it.
Exactly.
That's part of it. That's part of it, and if you guys are listening, put down in the comments, like, what do you guys think? I do tend to read all comments, and then, like I said, what are you guys' inputs on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's a lot heavier and deeper of a show than it may seem at the surface level for somebody who just kind of watches an episode here or there.
Dude, it got canceled after 3 episodes. Did you know that?
Out in Japan, or
1979, when it was first released, after 3 episodes, it was
It
canceled.
was very overwhelming for some people.
It
Eh?
was very overwhelming.
wow.
Yeah, it was very overwhelming. And then we were getting into the deep dive, right, Tivana? But the Zaku, like, the thing with the Zaku, oh god, it was ugly. The early Tomino, there was only two designs that were submitted, and Sunrise at the time was like, "Hey, we do not plan to sell any toys for basically the Zaku. Either way, the name was going to be Zaku. We do not, we're not going to plan on selling any toys, so you guys have free range of do whatever you want to do with it." So Tomino and I forgot the other guy's name, but we were talking about him all last episode. They came out with the design, and then they were looking at the two, and they're like, "Hey, we'll go ahead and go over your design. However, we need to give him a mono eye, because at the time he had like a visor like a Jim would,
Yeah.
like
I remember
over."
that.
Yeah. All they did was they removed the visor and gave him an eye, the mono eye. So, which created the iconic Zaku, like, that we know and love. Very, very popular, and there are very few anime series that gives us the aspects of a viewpoint of a Xeon pilot and what he has to go through when he has to fight a Gundam. And I kind of hope I see that with his Netflix adaptation.
Yeah. Um, I'm not trying to jump in so much, so I'm sorry, but
No, no, no,
I
no.
think I think another thing that's really interesting is they generally make the by design in its own they tend to make like the Xeon unit and forces look like the bad guys. When I'm not gonna say that they aren't in a lot of cases, but really, they're framed to be the bad guys, but deep in the story, in a lot of cases, the United, U.S. Oh gosh, ESFS. I may have just butchered that. Anyways, a
Uh,
lot of times they tend to be the bad guys despite being framed as the good guys. It's just really interesting because that's very realistic when it comes to war. Obviously, you always think your side's the good side, and the other people are the enemies, and they're the ones doing bad. But like you said, if they happen to dive into that at all, or from like the different perspective, I think that'd be really interesting.
it's propaganda, man. Both sides will display propaganda on both sides. You have one side, which is a fascist, authoritarian government, and then you also have the other side, which is a very highly corrupt government that is willing to, like what they did with Laplace's box,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
example. Yeah, and man, like I
And even
said,
after Laplace's box.
Even
Even
after,
after Laplace's blocks, they still didn't learn their lesson.
yeah.
So, I mean,
Damn, T-Von, really tell us how you feel.
I mean,
And actually, it's a good thing. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's a good thing we brought this up because today's topic is actually the AEUG. And I know T-Von probably out of all universes and UC probably loves. I think Zeta is your favorite, isn't it?
yep,
Zeta, yeah.
best anime ever.
Actually, Double Zeta would disagree you on that.
Listen,
It's
listen,
not
'cause
anime,
because
buddy.
animation, yes, yeah. Oh my goodness, this dude.
Wow.
No, but AEUG is what is the original. Is basically the original idea of Zeon Rem Daikun's vision, in my opinion.
You know what? I was going to ask you that, and I was actually going to make a topic of that, where I think the AEUG is what Xeon was supposed to be.
Because that is why you see every single character, almost every character who was part of the white base, except for
No, most of them are like
Yeah.
mixture between the two forces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's true because Roberto was an ex Zeon. Char was there.
Well, Roberto.
Apoli was ex Zeon, I think, as well. Yeah, Apoli and Roberto were part of the Zeon.
Yeah.
So
Well, they were still part of Xeon. Because
still part.
Yeah, well, technically, because like,
Well, I guess
not really. Like, what happened was like they were. So in Char's Portrait Affair, I think that's what it was called. Char, Roberto, and Apollo, right? Is that his name?
Apoli.
Apoli. They went to spy, and they never reported. They basically deserted the Axis Xeon.
Oh, I didn't know about that little detail right there.
Yeah.
Quick side note: these are spoilers for Zeta, by the way.
Well, not really. This is the manga book. It's been out for 20 years. So,
My guys, if you're a Gundam fan and you haven't seen Zeta yet, you're doing yourself a great dishonor.
Oh,
and
man.
So please go and do your Gundam homework.
And dude, this
Yeah,
is
it's worth
where Tamina was very, very depressed. Not like Zeta. I'm sorry, Victory depressed, but he was very depressed.
Yeah, quick confession.
Yeah.
I've only watched like half of it.
Oh, dude. So the original concept of Zeta, and I'm not going to spoil the ending, but I'm going to spoil probably the original ending. Tamino was in a bad state of mind to the point where his original thought for the ending of Zeta was Camille killing himself.
Oh crap!
Yeah, like
Which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Something along the same lines happens, yeah.
Yeah, like basically, like Camille got tired of what was going on with the war, his state of mind, which Tivon, which made the alternative ending about losing his state of mind.
Yeah, because like I'm not gonna spoil it directly, but towards the end of the show, you can definitely tell, like towards the end, the amount of despair that Camille encounters, the amount of sadness that he encounters near the end of the show. Yeah, like it's like the amount that he has to go through makes sense as to why that original ending that Tomino had in mind would make sense. The amount of stuff, the amount of effort he put in to get up to that point, just to watch it all crumble.
Yeah,
it's just tough. It's rough.
Yeah, and he's seen his friend. I mean, dude, like he's seen his best friends like either committing the ultimate sacrifice so that way they could fight another day, or losing his love life. Well, some of his love lives, I guess. I guess he had a few in front of his eyes. It's remarkable. Like honestly, dude, like the more I think about it, the more I could relate to it. Honestly, like oh, it's crazy now. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, so it's very relatable. And the thing is that the AEUG, I was going to call them a ragtag group, but technically they're all veterans. They all, most of them even participated in the 1 year war. They just got tired of what led them, like what the Federation either led or just thought, like it's probably like another attempt to get the, I mean, I hate to say it, but probably like a lot of the ex-Xeon forces were like, hey, we kind of hate where this is going kind of deal. Like, we want payback, or they probably understand like the colonies was in any better shape now than it was during and before the 1 Year War. So what is your intake like? What is your perspective of the AU?
Me?
What? Yeah, like I want to hear your perspective, T-Bone. Like, what does the AU mean? Like, let people know like what does it stand for, the name and everything.
So AEUG is a shortened version of Anti-Earth Union Group. And I believe if I'm correct, they supported the idea of humanity expanding into space and living under their own government, but not the way that the Principality of Xi'an did it, because the Xi'an they're a bit extremist, and they weren't even concerned about the honor of Xi'an Rem Daikun. They were more concerned about the Zabi family and the Zabi regime supporting their family and maintaining power. Power was everything. And Garen, we already knew he had an idea of just wiping out everybody and taking control. He was just playing a game of time. He was just trying to get rid of everybody. He killed his own father. He killed his own father and General Rebel, two of the most iconic people of each side.
All
Degwin Zabi.
all for so that the war could keep going.
Yeah, just so the war can keep going. The EF was doing that in their own way. They used the Xi'an regime as an excuse to start procuring more dangerous weapons, more high-powered weaponry. And even after the Battle of Abaoku, which pretty much put the 1 Year War to an end, even after that, they used as an excuse to keep manufacturing prototypes, to keep manufacturing more powerful mobile suits, more Gundams, more everything. So that war, that basically the 1 Year War, pretty much set in stone for both sides to keep manufacturing weapons, and companies like Anaheim Electronics took companies from both sides, took engineers from both sides, and created a business out of it, and making mobile suits for sport for each side to just put against each other. They didn't care about peace. They didn't care about that. They just care about the science, the technology behind mobile suits. So basically, the AEUG is just against all of that, and all they care about is just the freedom of space noids. I believe Shar and what's his name? Shar and the other guy. What was his name? I think he died.
I think Shar was a very true believer of the AEUG.
Shar was one of the founders. He was.
Yeah.
He's one of the founders of AEUG. I forgot the other guy's name is. What was his name again?
Are you talking about the guy who owned the company?
Yeah. No. Yeah, he was blonde. It wasn't not the one with Emma. Not the one that.
Oh, you're talking about the old dude, like the older dude.
The old dude. Yeah, him and Shar.
Yeah, where he was on I guess, who helped, and this is crazy. Because they basically grabbed as many sponsors as they could, and they made their own ship, the Argama, which I gotta say, I really did like the design. I think it was
Blex.
Very undergunned, though.
Yeah, Blex.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
it's
his
Blex.
name.
Okay.
Blex Forer.
Yeah.
So he Shar or should we say Caswell? Do we say Caswell or do we say Shar? I guess Shar's more well known.
Technically Quattro.
So I guess at that time, Quattro. I guess we won't. So Quattro Bagina and Blex Forer founded the AEUG. So these guys just were like a private company who decided to go bigger and get supporters, and they basically made an army out of nothing, out of just like the realistic way too. That's the thing I like about Gundam. It's a kind of realistic when you have to have a startup company and you have to get followers and you have to get people to support you and you have to show that you back up your word. Which you guys did.
I'm pretty sure they were basically labeled a terrorist organization by the Federation.
They were, but any of those who were actually quote unquote legitimately woke have seen that it's a farce. It's a lie by the Titans. The Titans were creating that lie. They're pushing that agenda that the AEUG is a terrorist group. And the AEUG's existence also fueled the existence of the Titans.
Remember, they didn't steal any mobile suits or ships. They liberated them.
That's okay. The EF is using stolen technology anyways. Just piggybacking everybody else anyway, so they're just as guilty.
Not really. I mean, the thing with the EF, they bought. Like the hijack, for example. Like a lot of... Oh, yeah, never mind. I know what you're talking about.
In Stardust Memory, they stole how many Zaku 2 F2s and used them as training suits?
Well, I mean, we do that today. We do that.
And in Thunderbolt, they stole a mobile armor.
You know
I
how
believe the
many?
word
You know
is
how many
liberated.
liberated? Yeah. You know how many ground vehicles I blew up, man? Like that was captured from.
Brandon,
Huh?
they stole the Brow Bro and integrated a Gundam in it.
Yeah, they did, didn't
You telling me? Yo, Federation they ain't
And the
no saints
Gabaldi
either.
too.
So,
And the Gabaldi too. Think about it. It was the Gabaldi
exactly.
Alpha, and they changed it to Gabaldi Beta.
Exactly.
They,
The mobile was
but
like
they
Gadplay and
fixed.
like all that stuff. They just stole Xeon employee. Yeah, just as guilty.
But they
Just as
fixed.
guilty.
But they did fix the good flight type, which it was inspiration for the later Bjarnland.
The Gulf flight type was the inspiration for the Bjarland?
Well, yeah, but, well the technology of it. I mean, you
Well,
know
I
what I
guess
mean?
that's true. An atmospheric flight, be able to like maintain flight in the atmosphere. The Gulf was way ahead of its time in terms of that, because not many
Oh, for
mobile suits could do that.
sure, yeah. And whenever the Federation got the good flight type, they reworked on it, and then we've seen a couple of them used during the Grips War, and then was later developed into the inspiration of it later into the Bjarlant.
And I took in why. I took in, and I guess the Dom was the pioneer of that, because it basically was actually just always flying, just really, really low altitude.
I mean, like
Because
hovering.
basically hover around the ground. Yeah, it was basically always flying.
God,
So
the
it was
Dom
like,
was great.
and it makes sense when like a guy, like this is what I like about Gundam 2, the engineering aspect, the idea of it. I realized why Dom's legs are so dummy thick. It's just because it needs to be that big to have some sort of thruster big enough to maintain its weight in atmosphere with all the thruster power. It makes so much sense. I'm just like, holy smokes, they thought this through.
Ladies and gentlemen, T-Von just
Holy smokes.
thought of the reason why
You know what?
We
why
finally figured
why the
out.
Dom
You
is
know what?
thick.
Yeah,
We
we
found
finally
out
know
the
why.
we found out the art. We found out the art of the dummy thick Xeon suit. It's just so it can fly harder, fly faster, so they can stick a big ass thruster on the feet. Just
Well,
do that.
yeah, that not only that, but like you think about it, like when it comes to the Federation and stuff, it's you look at it like, man, that would be a great way to sell toys, like the design of it itself. And then you look at Xeon, and it's like, oh man, that's very conventional. Well,
Obviously,
okay,
though,
yeah.
this is definitely at the end of the day, this is still a theory. I have not actually seen something that says why that's why the legs are so dummy thick, but it makes sense in a design aspect. I'm trying to look at this like as if you would see a car. Why it's shaped that way, in a certain way. Why that ship or plane is shaped in a certain way.
Well,
Because some
Gundam.
planes are designed with more lifts to fly slower, so they can scout. Some planes are meant to fly faster, which
Well,
means a more aggressive wing angle and stuff like that. So it's like, our aileron angle. So it's like, it's cool.
well, Gundam was considered the first real robot anime, the first ever.
Yeah.
Like it even created the job title mechanical designer.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it.
That's
created,
cool.
Yeah, it did. It created that. It literally, legitimately created that title, a mechanical designer. And Gundam was the first, and I'm talking about Char's Counterattack. It was the first. It was the first anime to actually use a CGI type of design for any kind of anime. Before any anime could use it, it was the first. And they only used it for probably about like 5 seconds, maybe less than 5 seconds. They used the technology to make the colony where Char was at. That was the first and only time it was used throughout the movie. But it was the first anime movie to use that type of CGI technology. So, yeah, fun fact. So, CJ, what is your perspective on the AU?
Like I said, I've only made it about halfway through Zeta. Before I kind of just gave it up because of how depressing it was. Let's be real. You guys already hit on that. Super depressing, and I roughly know how it ends. From my understanding of it, Camille basically gets so depressed by the end of it, he's just like, I'm out. Is that about it? Is
Well,
that
I
pretty much
mean,
right?
it's okay. It's okay. We're spoiling it. I'd say in 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, if you guys are still here, we're going to go ahead and spoil it. No, he lost his mind, and from what happened at the end of the series, Shirako took it. Like he took his soul.
Yeah.
And it's weird because when it comes to Zeta, Zeta gets in really deep on the new type power aspect. It's like he's showing how strong new types could be. Um,
And is Chiraka the guy that he basically rams the cockpit of with the Zeta? I've seen that clip, at
yeah,
least.
which is weird. Man.
Okay.
Chiraka was just a civilian who
Hmm.
later was like, "Hey, I make some badass mobile suits, so go ahead and follow me." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go ahead and follow this guy. Even though he just, I mean, they didn't know, but he did kill the Titan leaders,
Yeah.
and that's crazy. That's crazy. Like if you think about it, like what led to the Titans' creation. But it's another topic on its own. The main topic right now is AEUG. I wonder what kind of people were back in the AEUG. Like they know it was this one guy who Timon, do a fact check on me. I don't remember his name. Was it Yukima? Is that
Wait, which person?
the guy who? Remember, he used to beat the heck out of Camille a lot, and he was a sponsor.
Oh, a sponsor? Oh, him! Oh, what's his name? I forgot his
I think it was Yukima or Yamato, whatever. Like he used to beat Camille a lot, and sometimes he probably do it just for the kick of it. I don't know.
Taught him a lesson, though. Taught Camille a lesson because.
Oh, he needed it. He needed
Oh,
it.
Wong.
Wong.
Why do I know his name? What the heck? Okay, anyways.
What's
let's not worry
wrong with
about
us?
that. Why do I know his name? Anyways.
Um,
Wong Li, yeah.
Wong Lee, okay.
Why do I know that? Anyways.
I mean, it's kind of unforgettable. This guy liked to abuse like this kid right in front of the camera. So,
Oh man, even his English voice is amazing.
No, I know.
He just sounded so pretentious. Oh my god.
and that's the thing. Like, if you look at the reason why I brought that up is because he helped basically not only sponsored and gave the AU money, but he also funded the Argama. Like,
Oh, he's an executive at Anaheim Electronics. Okay.
Oh, okay. So that's where.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, that does make so much sense. Man, I'm just wondering where they got the money to make a warship. Just think about it. Like today, think about it, an aircraft carrier, which honestly, the AEUG's Argama ship is basically like a minute. I want to say a miniature. It's obviously huge, but it's like a smaller aircraft carrier. And remember, we were going in a deep dive about the helicarrier, the Wasp, where it's kind of like the closest thing to the size of the Salamence, which is about, correct me if I'm wrong, about 320 meters, 325 meters. So, man.
Just making sure the Argama you guys are referring to is the one that is seen in Unicorn, correct?
Unicorn. Oh, you're talking about the Irish.
No, the Nail Argama.
Oh, no. The Nail Argama
Different.
is different. Yeah, the Nail Argama is basically
okay.
the more improved ship over the Argama. Oh,
Okay. Yeah, like I said, Zeta, definitely not my forte.
yeah. Nail Argama came out like near the end, like the halfway to near the end of Double Zeta.
Okay.
Yeah. Which was commanded by kids. So.
Yeah, also, have not seen anything about Double Zeta. I've heard too much about it not being worth watching.
Well, the first
false.
half.
False.
First half. You just
False.
gotta get through the first half.
False.
Oh no, those are fighting
False.
words you just said.
Show's fantastic. The show's fantastic. I think it's a very good show.
Maybe I'll have to go back and give it a shot, both of them.
I think it's
Maybe.
absolutely bombastic of a show.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and rewatch them. I'm not as young as I once was, so maybe these topics are a bit more interesting for me now that I'm older.
It's all honestly, dude. Just joking. It's all an opinion, but I see why people don't like Double Zeta. They think there's too much comedic side to it. But honestly, I kind of thought it was. I thought it was refreshing,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be a bit more immature because it's literally a bunch of ragtag kids.
Yeah.
Like, how do you expect a bunch of immature kids who don't know better to be super serious? And that's the thing I don't like. It's more realistic in that sense because a lot of the other shows have like kids who are just super serious,
Well, it is
Well,
more
that's 'cause
And
realistic.
they're just
It is more
but like
realistic.
why?
It's not an anime. It is more realistic.
well, that's
But
because they all got the freaking bright Noah backhand. They had to grow up.
yeah,
Oh,
but
dude,
that's fine. Like Amuro was done. Amuro and Camille were done in a perfect way, in my opinion, though.
dude.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, the Federation could have had the best army if they just all line them up in front of Bright, and Bright just gives them that one slap each. I
Or if
guarantee
they
Yeah.
you.
listened, or if they listened to Amuro, if they actually just listened to him
Or they get
for
more
once.
than actually like 2 weeks of training, because it just looks like most of those pilots only get like 2 weeks of training. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to get with their platoon leader or anything like that. It just, all right, this is my other side talking, but it just feels so disorganized. All right.
You know what's
Those
also
army.
funny though too?
Hmm.
Oh, so go ahead. I was
I
gonna
was
say
gonna
it's
say.
kind of.
Go,
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
We're also eager to speak. No, go ahead, CJ. Go ahead.
I was gonna say those army recruiters have been pulling up hard at those guys hanging around McDonald's, I guess.
It's because it's near almost the end of the month. They got to hit their target.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, they're usually friendly with you when in the beginning of the month, but then near the end, they're like, "Look, man, you gonna sign up or not?"
bro,
One
sign
of those
on
20
bonus,
Gs.
free college, and you get to pilot a robot. Come on, what more can you want?
Do you like Call of Duty, man? This is like Call of Duty meet the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Nah, that's how they kind of got me. But
Well,
so it says here that as of 2019, the USS Wasp, which by the way, it's an older ship, 1989, it's being used now, cost 1.9 billion. Can you just imagine the cost of the Argama? And it's usually
I can't
cheaper
even
for a
imagine.
private. It's usually cheaper for a private company to build these things than it is for the actual military. That's why the military would use private contractors. Fun fact for everybody who didn't know that. That's why, like, yeah, at least for us, like we don't build mostly our own stuff. We'll hire other people to do it for us.
Yeah, somebody that specializes in it and can do it a lot more effectively and efficiently. So
Yeah, and not only that, and that also includes like DFAC, like our cafeterias. Nobody know what the DFAC is. We'll hire our private lunch people. Just private everything. Private builders who build like bases and stuff like that. Kind of like what Char did. Char was in Jaburo, by the way. In Origins, he was building the base apparently. But like I said, like the Origins, like in the first episode, it was kind of ran a little different. So I don't know. The thing with AEUG, man, I do love the Nemo.
Why?
Nemo, you don't?
No, it just no. I mean, I don't have anything against it, but it's like it just looks like a glorified gym.
It kind of looks
So-
like a more produced Gym Sniper 2
Yeah.
in a way. I do think it was a great machine. Definitely held up better than most of the gyms in Unicorn. But I don't know. I do like it. It's a overall design, and it was built to be like a cheaper mobile suit. It uses the Rick Diaz beam saber, the Gym 2's beam rifle, or actually basically whatever it could get his hands on. And one thing I did find interesting was that what did they say after the 1 year war? The universal policy kicked in. So basically, and Federation Mobile Suit could pick up a Xeon weapon, and then it could register the weapon within like a timely period. Kind of like what the Unicorn did.
Yeah.
So I think they put that in as an excuse that, if he happens to find a weapon laying around, that it could, register. But I don't know. What is your intake on the Titans? Let's say CJ.
Yeah, so like I said, kind of been slacking. So I did recently go back and watch Stardust Memory, which not going too deep into that, it's getting off track, but it basically tells you how the Titans are formed. Um, I do think, like I said, like I was trying to kind of say earlier, how I don't think the people who are necessarily framed as the good guys are really always the good guys. And kind of touching back to what Tavon said a little bit ago, I think the AEUG was the closest thing to the best side of what Xeon should have been, and I really think that the Titans was kind of like the worst side of what the Earth Sphere was. Um, that's just kind of the take I've got on it from the little bit I have seen. Um, I really don't think any side really ended up being the good guy on the bit I have seen of it. But like I said, that may not be entirely accurate. I've not seen the entirety of Zeta or Double Zeta. Um, but just from a halfway through the story kind of point of view.
And if I could add something to it, like really quick before Tivon gives how his point of it. Look at Jared, for example. Jared thought like he was shooting a glass canister full of gas or something, like it was a secret weapon.
I mean, Camille's mom, right?
Camille's mom, yeah, he didn't know.
Yeah,
Jared wasn't even actually a bad guy. He just got caught up in somebody else's mess.
Jared is basically not just that, but Jared is just basically like a side effect of the war.
Yeah.
To put it that way. He thought he was this this jock, this hey, look at me, it's like hey, and this, CJ, your dad was a Marine. I'm not dissing any Marines, but I have met like Marines who just finished training. Marines are very prideful. They really are.
can confirm.
Can confirm, yeah. And like whenever I was going to basic training, the Marines they did one ceremony and then they do another ceremony once you graduate. Like you do 2 or 3 ceremonies, and they were very prideful. So I think Jarrett was just very prideful for the Titans because knowing that you're part of the Titans, one, you're one rank higher than those who are in the Federation. Two, you're kind of looked more higher upon because you're seen more as a more trained fighter, basically. Kind of like how the Marines would see probably over the Army. That's
Really,
my intake on it. That's my intake. So
yeah,
when T-Von said he wasn't that bad of a guy, and I do believe that is correct. I think he just was a side effect of the war. He was this guy with all this pride, but yet his pride got in the way of him thinking I don't know why I'm this. I don't know why I can't do much because the Titans trained me to handle this situation, but what's the issue? So it's just his pride just kept getting in the way throughout the whole series, and it made his when I'm not saying it made his character worse, but I'm saying it made it kind of made him more look like the villain at the end.
yeah,
Like the bad guy. And I really don't, and like I agree with Tivon. I don't think Jared was a bad guy or a bad character. I just think that he was just a side effect of what was the war was doing to him as it continued.
yeah. It sounds like more so not himself, evolving as a person, but like kind of his outside factors and surrounding atmosphere kind of turned him into what he was, is what it sounds like you're saying.
Yeah. Kind of like how Camille was. Camille was like, I want to say a crybaby, but he did pout a lot, and then he kind of like grew.
Jared was basically Ensign Riddy
Okay.
before he's a non-noon type Ensign Riddy. He just believes what he's doing is right.
Yeah.
Then he gets caught off in everyone's mess.
Kind of like Emma.
And then just gets corrupted and messed up due to that.
Yeah, kind of like Emma. Emma.
That too.
Yeah, Emma was like, I'm gonna do really good things as being in the Titans because Titans are known, to be basically all aces.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't, later on, she knew that wasn't the case with the Titans. Titans were definitely was definitely hiding a lot more than what they were telling the soldiers. Like that one soldier actually, remember in Dakar?
Which one?
He was. I think he was in the atmosphere. Atmosphere. I can't really pronounce it, but he was like basically helping Emma, and he was only around maybe like 2 episodes,
Hmm.
and he was killed. He basically low key was like helping the AEUG for like a second, basically.
Oh yeah, and he got shot for being. They called him a traitor. Someone shot him, right?
Right? Yeah, like he was still part of the Titans,
He was
but
helping someone get land in atmosphere. I think.
no. He was at the car, but he was basically like listening to Shar's speech. He's like, "Hey, let's listen to Shar," and then I think they killed him, but I'm pretty sure he's dead. I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Why did I remember that scene?
He's kind of like a forgettable character, man. Like I said, like he was only around for like maybe 2 episodes, and he probably only has like 2 minutes screen time in between the two.
Mm.
Let me look up his name real quick. Um, but but the thing is, like Gundam usually relates to what happened in real time history. What would you think the Titans are related to real life?
Real life.
Good question.
Maybe the old airborne.
The old airborne.
The airborne from the U.S. and Canada from let's say what year am I thinking? Maybe the 80s? Because then we have an incident where the airborne, I think it was Canadian airborne, they pretty much massacred some folks in Somalia, I believe. They massacred a few folks, and after they disbanded the airborne because of that incident. At least for the Canadian forces, I remember. They tortured a lot of them to get
Oh
information.
my
It was a lot. It was very
God,
brutal.
Canada.
Let me see how.
No
Why
wonder
did
they
the
say
airborne?
Did
sorry
you?
so much.
Yeah, I was going to say like, did you say sorry afterwards at least?
Uh,
Let me see. I'm looking up. I'm trying to look up the pilot for. Um,
After the Somalia affair,
that has to be like, but in that
1995.
no, then it wasn't because it was in the 80s when
Somalia affair.
unless
Ah,
Tamino saw the future and that's why like he was like, oh my God, I need to get a drink after this. Let's see. His name is Aaron? No. I'm like looking through because like now I'm like wondering like who the heck was the pilot. I'm pretty sure he's piloting this thing. I was not this guy.
oh, two military soldiers beat a Somalian teenager to death.
This guy found him. No, I didn't hear about that. That's terrible. That's terrible. I hope they get charged for it.
you said this was back in the 80s?
I posted it in the chat. It was this guy, T-Bone.
Oh wow.
You remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was basically like was in Dakar. He was like, "Hey, let's listen to what he has to say," and they killed him. I think they just stabbed a beam saber in him or something. I really don't remember. It says here that is he dead? Yeah, he was killed in action. It says here as a Titans lieutenant.
Oh, he got killed in battle trying to protect Camille.
Yeah, Jarrett killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says here, although he attempts to convince his fellow officers of the Titan's true nature, his attempts are foiled by Jarrett, who denounces him as a Titan. When Jarrett tries to attack Camille during battle, he gets in a way, he gets killed. Yeah, so he gets killed.
Hmm.
He gets in the way to return the favor. So he was returning the favor to Camille. Yeah, like, so it says here that, oh, he was only in one episode. Okay. Like I said, like he was very, very like very short in his episode coming. Um, man, that's crazy. You know what? Now I'm thinking about it. Mafi from Hathaway's Flash, and if you guys haven't seen it, look, I'm gonna have to give that. I really want to actually do a whole review. Whenever I have time, like a 5 to 10 minute review on it on YouTube. whenever I can, and Spotify, probably on Spotify. You know, like if I had to give it a rating, what do you think, CJ? Out of 10, like
Um,
1 out of 10, or 0?
they, I noticed that they use like a lot of scenes rather than words for telling a lot of the story. I've not read the entire story like you have, and obviously we've not seen all of the trilogy yet. We've only had the first movie come out.
Right.
But I think it was very impressive how they used the scenes and cinematography to kind of tell more of the story than they did with words. Um, So honestly, if I had to give the first movie a rating at this point in time without seeing the rest of it or knowing anything about it, hopefully this will age well. But I would probably give it a good 8.5.
8.5, T-Von?
Yeah, good eight and a
Yeah,
half.
8 out of 10. Yeah,
8. Yeah. I was thinking a 9, like a strong hanging 9. 9,
it's
9 point.
definitely. Hmm.
No, go ahead.
It's definitely the top. Some, if not the top movie, it's one of the top Gundam movies.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
think
for
we can
sure.
agree on that.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
story
Yeah.
even surpasses some of the OVAs for sure. Like it's so well done, and like Hathaway is such a cool character
Oh
that
yeah, I agree.
like man,
And the reason why I brought that up is because of Mafi. Um, and
Mafti Nabu
Mafi,
Erin, that's
yeah,
his alias,
His
right?
alias,
as his
alias,
alias,
yeah.
yeah. The reason why I brought that up is because look at what the Federation's doing on there. It kind of reminds me of what you told me about. They beat what was that, Samoan teenager?
Yeah,
Yeah. So it kind of reminds me of that. Um, and whenever you said like like the Federation is still corrupt even years and years and years, it's
didn't learn
crazy.
the lesson.
They never learned the lesson. I don't
And as
even
long as they don't learn the lesson, there will always be Xeon remnants. There will always be uprisings.
kind of like even in Victory.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing. Even in Victory Gundam.
yep. Ligue militaire, and that's still, stuff like that. It's just gonna keep happening.
Oh, that's right. You know a little French, don't you?
Ah, ah oui, oui, monsieur. Tu veux que je parle en français maintenant?
What the heck you calling me?
Did I just have a stroke?
No, but so you grew up on a very because I know like some parts of Canada like your first language will basically be French, right?
First language is English, and then French is second.
Yeah, but I'm saying some places, right? Or
If in Quebec, yeah.
in Quebec. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Um, yeah, because I don't remember where it was in Canada, but I know like they will base it everywhere. Like you see signs and everywhere being French.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Quebec. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. As y'all didn't know, Tivon, yes, is in the Canadian military, not the U.S. You know. Yeah.
I
See,
have
he's
just been
speaking
enlightened
Canadian.
by this. I did not know this.
Oh, you did not know this.
No, no.
Yeah. So if you thought the American Air Force is useless, wait till you guys see what the Canadian Air Force does.
Oh, I'm in search and rescue, jerk.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
Yeah.
I'm
Would
useful.
y'all
I'm
be Would
useful.
y'all be search and rescuing fish?
Are you mad? You crazy. Oh my goodness. Anyways,
No, I'm just joking.
people are always gonna be dumb. People are always gonna go traveling where they shouldn't.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
we need planes to help save their sorry booties. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Which by the way, like Veterans Day just passed 6 days ago. Which by the way, I did thank Devon for his service. By the way.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise, my friend.
I'm actually the only one in this podcast who's not in the service. So if you guys will give these two gentlemen here a kind comment and appreciate their service, I know they don't get enough for what they do, even if they're Canadian and in the military. But
Don't kill me.
No,
Well, I appreciate it, man. I
yeah.
didn't do much yet. I'm still doing my training, but I appreciate it.
hey, that's time out of your life dedicated to the betterment of all in your country and your people. So
And I will continue to do so
yeah,
with pride.
Amen to
that's
that.
right.
Yeah, and honestly, man, like Gundam is my reason why. It kind of got me really interested in being in the service. Obviously not the
Crazy,
same. Obviously not the same. But it kind of like got me like I was like, man, you know what? I want to be like a good guy, you know, kind of thing. What
Mhm.
my first Gundam anime was 8th MS Team. I was probably like 5 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, remember?
Unlike this
Uh,
guy, who's not a true originator, my first was 0079.
0079.
well,
I'm so
uh,
cool. I'm so awesome for doing that.
So
Yes.
amazing.
Kneel before me. Bow. I'm just joking. I'm joking.
So amazing.
well, sorry to be the pinnacle of the Americans, but winged over here.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I
uh,
thought so. No, I mean like a lot of people got started on Wing. Alex, which he's another. Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
I got to clear my throat after I said that name too. Um, hey, by the way, if Alex, if you're listening, this is a good shout out to you, buddy. We all love you. Yeah, but I mean,
Gundam
like,
wing.
actually, he got started on
Sorry.
Double O. He got started on Double O. See,
Oh shit.
I like Double O.
Oh,
Double O.
I think I need to go to the hospital now. I think I'm having a cardiac arrest.
Double O.
This is this. This is
Hey, he didn't start off on Mobile G Fighter, so we're all good.
That's true.
Oh.
That's true. Oh goodness.
Or G Savior.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine,
No.
like, hey guys, I'm a fellow Gundam fan too. I just finished G Savior for the first time.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? We're bashing on these guys. No, look, we appreciate the community. We love the Gundam community. We really do. And whoever's listening, whoever subscribed, you know, you are a fellow Gundam space engineer. You really are.
It doesn't matter if you haven't watched the show. Doesn't matter if you've just played the games. Doesn't matter if you just played the arcade games in Japan. It doesn't matter. Anything, any inkling of Gundam fuels the Gundam fandom. So all of us banding together is what's gonna keep this stuff alive.
Oh, for sure. Like me, I'm a hardcore Fetty. I am a hardcore Fetty.
Unless you're this guy, then there's a problem.
Yeah, see, if you guys didn't know
Anybody
what
who
that was,
supports
that's
feds are
the
the scum.
gym. That's the gym showing up to T-Von right now. That's why he's doing that. Yeah.
The gym
But
shows up to
T-Von-
me when I have that. I pull out the Geigen and fucking.
But you're more sympathetic. Like you are really more sympathetic when it comes to Xeon, because of what?
Yeah.
Yeah, because of like what the Federation did, what they're going through, and all that.
They just seem so they just seem so
Relatable.
government. They just seem so government like just doesn't matter about the rules. We just follow the system. Even if it's corrupt system, we're just gonna follow it. Yeah. They're just so robotic. And then when I see Xeon, it's like so much more emotion, so much more diversity
it's
in the way
because
people
they
think.
have-
And I'm just like,
Well, it's because they all got one thing in common. We're fighting for independence.
I love that. But then
yeah.
I saw something yesterday when I was playing Gundam Battle Operation. It was kind of messed up because I'm just like, there's a Xeon flag emblem, and the colors are red, white, and
I know where
black.
this is going.
No,
And the Xeon, the flag is a plus in white, and then the outlines are red squares on the outside,
it's
and
no
the Xeon emblem
secret.
is black.
It's no
I
secret
know.
what they stand for,
That
buddy.
looks-
Have you
it looks-
seen their uniforms?
Have
Have you seen their uniforms?
It's true. I'm just like,
Yeah.
yo, these guys are really supposed to be
You can say it,
inspired
it's
by
fine.
the Nazis. They were inspired by you see it, and I'm just like, oh my goodness,
Yeah,
that's brutal. It's just in your face.
I knew where that was going right away.
Yeah, I was just like, holy smokes. I was like, oh my goodness. I
And-
like Xeon and all, but holy.
And
Tommen over here just push out my face, calling me a scumbag for liking Xeon mobile suits.
look, and the reason
It's like,
why,
holy.
the reason why is Xeon. And look, by the way, guys, if you haven't noticed, our next video is supposed to be about the Musai. Oh, it was actually supposed to be this video, but you know, I've been working on like getting into the studio together, so which has been coming on nicely. So I'm getting wall panels that are coming in tomorrow. I'm trying to set the floor where it does like less echoing in here. I'm trying to do you know, as much sound control as much as possible in here. So far it's been a job. Yeah, but it's a lot of planning too. You know, I'm also getting married soon. Which, by the way, CJ, guys, if you haven't know, CJ is getting married soon. as well.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, actually engaged. So
Yeah.
Congrats, dude. That's a big step.
Yeah.
yeah, no kidding, no kidding. I'm very excited. Man, planning,
Yeah.
so much planning,
It is
and
a lot of planning. So I send you my condolences. Okay.
yeah. Oh man, horror story for planning on that kind of stuff. Maybe for another time, but oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's let's just say it's kind of relatable to what a colony drop is.
Well, oh, just millions of people getting wiped out. No, no
Yeah,
biggie.
I know.
Yeah,
It's kind of what I
yeah.
feel like whenever I'm like my paycheck or yeah, like whenever I open up my wallet, it just feels like a colony drop just hit your wallet. It's just gone and obliterated.
Colony drop on your wallets. My
Oh no.
wallet be feeling like Dublin right now. Oof.
Yeah, but nah,
Oh
nah,
no.
yeah, but I'm very excited. I cannot wait. I'm marrying my best friend soon. So April, right? Is when you're. I know that's when I'm getting married. I don't know about you. March or April?
Uh, we originally thought that at the start of the year. Man, it's really hard to like figure stuff out like this whenever COVID initially became a lot more prominent and became a big pandemic issue. Um, we
Mm-hmm.
are thinking more so probably like October of this coming up year.
Okay.
Like I said, we're trying to look at venues and trying to get that kind of stuff figured out. Like I said,
Ah,
a
that's
lot
always
of
fun.
yeah. 'Cause then you've got to take a lot of things into account. Like, is it too far away? Is it going to meet our budget? Is it what we want? Do we see it happening here? Um, yeah. Gosh. I'll just go ahead and tell the quick story. It's not too long. So we had a plan to go look at a venue about 2 hours away from where we live, right?
Mhm.
And it looked really cool. It's an old historic building in a pretty neat little town, not a huge area or anything. So my fiance, she had done kind of all the communicating with the lady that was going to give us a tour. So we set up a time and a date. Um, that morning, we go to leave. She sends the lady an email saying, "Hey, just making sure we're still good for today. We're about to head out." Send that about 7:30 in the morning. Didn't hear anything back. Whatever. It's Saturday. She's probably in bed still, sleeping in late. Maybe she's getting breakfast. No big deal. We'll just meet her whenever we get there. So we're supposed to meet her at 10, right? I'm sorry, 11. So we get all the way out there. We're there about 10 minutes early. So we go ahead and go up there and notice we didn't get a response. So she emailed her again, didn't have a phone number for her. She's just like, hey, just let you know we're here. Give me a call when you show up or if we need to meet you somewhere else in the building. Nobody was in the building. It was all unlocked. Really strange setup. Anyways, so here we are, like 15 minutes past the meeting time. Nobody to be seen. Nobody anywhere. We're just kind of like exploring the building, and finally, after a half hour goes by, no response from the lady or anything. We're just like, you know what, forget it. Ended up just making a day out of it and hanging out in town. But we never heard back from that lady until like 7 o'clock at night, and she's like, "Oh, hey, sorry, had to go to the hospital with my daughter. She had to get staples in her head." Then after we talked all that smack about her for like 8 hours, we're like, okay, well, kind of understand that. But anyways, just kind of slowed the planning process down for us a little bit.
May I recommend for the honeymoon to go to side two?
Oh no.
Oh yeah, Do you get that reference, Timon?
What did you say? I missed that last part. That's that last clip. Sorry.
I said for the honeymoon, may I suggest side two?
Oh my god.
That's the colony that got gas and dropped.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Yo. So.
Oh my god, that's another reference too, Tivon.
Oh no. Wait a minute.
Oh god, now I'm thinking about it even
You know
more.
the whole Sig Xeon thing too. On top of that, I don't know.
Six Sion.
I'm seeing a
Six
lot.
Sion.
I'm seeing a lot of
Six.
parallels.
I know y'all gonna make me get like one of those like pin boards, and I'm gonna just like get like one of those sticky notes and papers and one of those like strings and connect the dots in my room. I'm like, oh my god, where do they really come from? What are they really based on? Conspiracies.
Avon just in a young Sig Xeon, and my freaking strike gunplay just drops, throws a leg off.
Oh my god.
Don't mind me, just gonna be reconstructing this thing real fast.
And you know what? Whoever's listening right now, comment. What do you got? If you guys have any more pointers, like what are we missing any points? Comment. If you guys think like if actually, what do you think about like making our own Xeonic flag? What do you think? Like, actually not a Xeonic flag because we already know what they stand for, but come
Maybe
on, what do
maybe
you,
not in that area.
our own yeah, our own Gundam Space Engineers flag. What do y'all think? I think that'd be pretty sick. I could get.
Now's your chance to talk him into making a Space Engineers version of the Nether Gundam.
Oh
Vote
my
here in the comments.
gosh, yeah. I could.
You're not a true fan unless it's your favorite.
I could just feel like Alex right now, just typing away on his keyboard. Like yes, yes, yes.
I can hear it from here.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Yeah. Headphones users, I do apologize for his big mouth. But yeah.
What?
What? I've been playing Super Robot Wars lately. The new one that just came out. And like whenever I got free time, whenever I'm like washing the dishes or spending time in the living room, I will connect my phone, stream it. I'll stream the game onto my phone through my PC, and I'll just play it on my phone. And I gotta say, I really am enjoying it. I never played Super Robot Wars. I went in totally blind, didn't know what to expect. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm probably about halfway through. I finally unlocked the Rock Island. I got the new Gundam mass production type. For a while, Armoro was just piloting a replica of the RX-78, and I was fighting in Victory Gundam era mobile suits. So it's very interesting.
So I overheard you guys talking about that game a little bit in one of the previous episodes. You don't have to go into too much detail or anything, but kind of give me the rundown on it.
So basically, Super Robot Wars is multiple series. Code Geass, Gundam, Knights and Magic, Gun X Sword, like a whole bunch of animes that include some type of mecha or like Evangelion, whatever. So basically, at least the concept of this game, everybody basically knows what the Earth Federation is. Like,
Yeah.
the Black Knights, whoever. And the concept of this game, like, they already knew each other from, like, previous battles. Like, hey, whenever Lelouch took over the world, he also took over the Earth Federation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they
Oh
sort of,
no.
yeah. And they talk about the 1 year war. Like, Colin knows the 1 year war. Colin knows. And this is what's very interesting. Like, you could get in these battle scenes. Colin would say, I know how to handle mobile suits. Or one of the pilots would go like, "Oh, you might be small and fast, but I have better weapons," something like
Yeah.
that. So I do like the little callbacks to each other as well. It's very interesting. I like how they set the game up. So I really don't want to give a rating on it yet until I'm done. But me and another buddy, we were talking about it, and he loves Super Robot Wars, and he was telling me like he felt like Char became like a side character in this game.
So it sounds like there was a campaign to it. Is that correct?
There is a campaign to it, yes.
Okay. Okay.
So in this campaign, Char and Armoro survive Axis.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, but then again, there was no secret that they was in it. But
Yeah.
when Armoro apparently came out alive, he pilots a replica RX-78.
That's even more interesting.
That is more interesting. As for Char, which he's going by Quattro again. He pilots a full armor Yakushiki.
Okay.
Yeah. But the game is really fun. If you guys never played it, I do recommend playing it. Just don't expect it to be anything like SD Gundam. Do not expect anything like that. it's definitely the gameplay is definitely different, dude. I'm sitting here thinking, I was like, man, I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna buy like 10 Zaku's, like Gyaradogas. I
Match
mean,
fun up.
yeah, ain't none of that. The only way for you to get somebody, you have to do the mission. And if they're gone, like in SD Gundam, if you lose them, they're gone. There's no way of getting them
Yeah,
back unless you
yeah.
like do a previous load or whatever. On here, they just go away for the game and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Um. So I don't know. It's nice. I like it. Man, what else? We got a little bit of time left. So my whole point, like I said, with the AEUG, I just wonder, like, I really do think Char thought as the AEUG as what Xeon was supposed to be in the beginning. I really do think that. I really do think that when it comes to the AEUG, Char was really believing in his cause. Do you concur, Tivon?
I'm not going to lie. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of like cut off a little bit the last few seconds. The last like minute, it was like quiet. So, you mind giving me a quick recap?
So we were just talking about Super Robot Wars.
Okay.
I'm not finished with the campaign. I feel like they made Char a side character on there.
So I'm not too familiar with the Super Robot Wars campaign and like what the idea is. I know it's a combination of different anime from mecha that involve mecha and different mecha franchises into one.
Yeah.
Instead of like how it's like we have SD or G Generation, Genesis, and Crossrays.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with those two,
Yeah.
and I'm interested in Genesis. I might actually pick that up eventually at some point. It might be the first G Generation game I play. But
I actually have it.
that's-
If you want to try it out, a copy of it, I can loan you a copy.
which console?
PlayStation.
I think I might pick it up on Switch so I can play it on the go.
Yeah, I won't blame you. I got Crossrays on the Switch. I kind of like Genesis. Don't get me wrong, crossplay definitely a better concept of a game, but I definitely like Genesis more because I don't know. I don't know. I kind of think I got tired of the other world, the other universes mobile systems. I kind of want to use the UC ones now. It's weird. The Genesis and Crossrays kind of split them up.
Always going back home.
Oh yeah, come.
Uh,
I knew you missed your daddy.
Yeah,
Now my thing is like, is that CJ? You seen Code Geass, right?
that's probably one of my second, third favorite series of all times.
How would you feel that Tivon never seen it?
Well, thanks for seeing us on this new episode, guys. We'll catch you next time with one less fervor.
hey,
And next week's episode, Freedom featuring CJ. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Honestly, Tavon, you're doing yourself a disservice. You know what? Okay. Negotiation. You watch Code Geass, I watch Zeta.
but Zeta's a better anime overall. So if I watch Zeta
Okay,
and not
and
watch Code Geass, then I'd be okay.
and Zeta's got double the episodes. Okay.
Yeah, 100% episodes filled with content. No joking. I heard Code Geass is good, but the art style's so bad.
Look,
It's
okay.
so bad.
Everybody is like 12 feet tall, but the story. Look,
I can't.
if you take the journey from episode 1 all the way to the final episode in R2, mind blowing. Like the whole entire story. Some pieces that didn't make sense along the way, it just all suddenly makes sense. Like not giving anything away in it. He, the main character, he basically had a plan from almost episode 1 or 2, like in season 1. Like you don't know that because it doesn't really give you any detail on it. But by the last episode of season 2, the final season, you know exactly what his plan is, and he pretty much knew from the start and knew how he was going to get to it. And it's five heading it honestly. Like everybody's playing 3D chess, and he's sitting there playing 4D. Like it really is next level. It's really good. Heavily encourage it.
I really don't remember. I
Mm.
don't remember, but like I remember me and Chewbacca was or Chooks, if you guys want to know who he is. Um, we were discussing. It was years ago. I'm talking about like maybe back in 2012, 2013, probably 2013. We were talking about like, hey man, you haven't seen Code Geass? He's like, nah man, I just think the guy's spoiled. I was like, is that the whole reason why? He's like, yeah, I don't like spoiled. I was like, dude, then you haven't seen it. He's like, nah, I just think it's talking about a spoiled rich kid. I was like, oh, then you definitely haven't seen it. I was like, all right,
And
I'll go ahead and watch one of. I told him I'll go ahead and watch one of your anime series if you go ahead and watch it. He's like, okay. Which I'm trying to remember which one was his favorite. What he had me. I don't remember what he had me watch. I do not remember what he had me watch. But I said okay. So I never found the time to watch. So what I did was I just bring up summaries of each episode. and, and every time he calls me, every time we talk, or like he's like, "Dude, I can't believe this happened in this episode." He's like, "What episode you're on?" I was like, 6." Oh, dude, then tell me what happened. I was like looking at the summary. He's like, "This is what's been going on." And he's like, "Oh, dude, that's a good episode." I was like, "Yeah, so far."
you're just over there reading the cliff notes on it. Just
Yeah, just the clip notes. Yeah, and,
oh man, you
and
did
then
him wrong.
I did him wrong. So by the time he finished all the episodes, all 50 episodes, he's like, dude. He's like, dude, that anime was so amazing. I was like, yeah, I know. He's like, did you finish? I was like, to be honest with you, man, I didn't even start it. Brennan.
Oh no. Yeah,
But he doesn't regret it.
it's honestly really dramatic roller coaster all the way through, and there's a lot of times where you think, oh, yep, this is where the show ends, um, and then it keeps going because it didn't end up the way you thought it would. It just takes a lot of turns you don't expect.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't known, like I've known CJ for years. I'm talking about CJ. I'd probably like to say somewhere between '06 to '08.
I would have to say it was '08.
'08
Yeah, '08. Yep.
probably was.
That's whenever I was first on the on the Roblox
Oh
scene.
yeah, if you guys
For
haven't
all
known,
all my
yeah,
fellow boys out there.
yeah, that's if y'all haven't known, yeah, that's how I believe it or not, that's how I started gaming. It was actually because of Roblox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
We're hardcore. We game. We're gamers.
oh yeah,
So
remember the first Gundams and the mobile suits on there? They were like basically like clown feet suits with wheels.
yeah, yeah. And if the wheels start freaking out, it would like fly across the map.
Yeah, I remember when I first
Yeah.
met Rabbit. We nicknamed him Rabbit, but I remember when I first met him. He was like, "Dude, you inspired me to build Gundams. Did you know that?" I was like, "No," and I'm very glad. He's like, "Yeah, I seen all your designs and thought, man, I could do better." I was like,
Oh
I
no.
was like, "Oh, thanks."
Yeah, like obviously I know him. I don't know him near as well as you do by this point.
Yeah.
Talk about a wizard, man. That
Oh,
guy,
that man's a
he,
genius.
he's younger than me, younger than you. Um, got to be double our IQ. Like, dude's genius. Props to him. I hope he's doing well. I've not talked to him in years. Always thought well of him. Yeah, kid's a genius.
Um, I'm at least about 10 years old. No, I'm probably about. He has to be 21 by now.
Oh well,
I
that
think.
that man is a genius. Sorry, not
So
a kid.
yeah. So see, like, so look. So I just turned 27 on the 10th, and we all went out for my birthday, and my stepdaughter was like looking at the cake, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, 27." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "You're so old." I was like, I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Nah, I can't be that old." And then later that day, somebody commented on my beard. I was like my hairs on my face, and she's like, "Oh my god, how did you do that?" I was like, "Well, what do you mean? How did you get the red in there?" And if you guys didn't know, but like when your hair's like on your face, starts to turn red, it means they're about to turn gray.
Shut up. Shut up. No.
Tough.
Say psych right now. Brandon, say psych right now.
No, bro. I wish, but some of the red hairs, man, they're turning. But then, yeah.
Oh no.
I don't have any red hairs.
I do.
No, but you're mixed, so you might get some coming in soon. I think.
All right, listen, sir. I don't want to hear your stuff. I don't want to hear it. Listen.
Yeah,
Mhm.
man. I'm 23, but I gotta say, I'm feeling about double that these days.
It's all right, man. Every time
Um,
somebody asks me, "Why don't you go act your age?" I usually tell them, "Well, I don't know how. I never been this age before."
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, you know what? I don't care how old I am. I could be 50 years old, 60 years old. No matter what, I Gundam is always in my heart because like there's always a place for that. You know what I mean? Like everybody, like Star Wars think about that. Star Wars came out 2 years before. I'm sorry, before Gundam. You know, like how
Crazy.
nostalgic would you think like a Zaku would be? You know, could be the same as somebody seeing a TIE fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Um, I guess this shouldn't go too far into anything, but what was the very first? Well, I guess we already kind of talked about that, about our first series that kind of got us into it, or I guess what was like your first exposure? How did you find out about all this?
Adult
I
Swim.
guess kind of, okay, yeah, fair enough.
What happened was like I couldn't sleep as a kid. I was like maybe like I said like 5 years old. I couldn't sleep, and at the time like I could only sleep with the TV on, so I fell
Yeah.
asleep. And then when I woke up, uh, I was hearing the opening scene of Eighth MS Team. That's I
Oh
woke up.
wow.
I woke up to that, and I was like, oh, this is great. Um, that and then every morning before school, Gundam Wing will be on TV every morning.
I would wake
Every
up
morning.
early just for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. So I
Yeah.
think in a way I've always been exposed to Gundam in a way. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
remember going to like Toys R Us, buying Wing, buying Bolt Gundam, Rose, like some of the G Fighter units, and then buying heavy arm. I remember having heavy arms, and I'm actually talking about the actual Gunpla kits, not the
Oh
actual
wow.
action figures. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was, oh man, I was deep into it. I think I made the only thing I did was I never was able to find was like a Zaku 1 or Zaku 2, which
Yeah.
if y'all didn't know, I love the Zaku 1 more than I would love the Zaku 2. Um,
I uh I actually just got my first kits this year, as a matter of fact,
you just got your
which
first
is
kiss.
my first. Come on now.
Yeah, I know. It just sounded like you said
No.
kids, but I know what you
Yeah.
said. Yeah.
I just, I was
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Hey, hey. No, I've got my first two kits
Okay.
ending in KITS this year. And got to say, very pleased. One was the strike, the L strike, and the other one was the Jesta. Pretty happy with them. Got to say, very entertaining. You want to rush to finish them because you want to see the final product, but along the way, you're just like, man, this stuff is really cool, and you want to give it more detail. But
Oh, my
that's
step.
off topic, anyways.
I mean, we're talking about we're just talking a little bit about life. You know, my stepdaughter, me and her are making our first gunpla together. So, which is the RX-78. So, our local Hobby Lobby over here sells gunpla, and we both picked
Same.
up. Yeah, yeah, never like that in my hometown. So we picked up a box and we actually built it together. I think probably later I'll post a picture of it.
Oh yeah, that's sweet. That's nice.
Yeah.
The good memories.
Oh, great memories. And then I think she lost patience, and then she found the like the action figure for the Wing Gundam and bought it. But I still finished it. Or we still finished it. But yeah, I think that concludes everything actually for tonight's show. Steven, do you want to add anything before we do our close?
Sig Xeon!
As you can see, this was Steven's last show, and
Oh.
nah, I'm kidding. We joke too much about that. Yeah, we all love T-Von. T-Von's like that. It's like that pet that sleeps on the floor, and people will walk up and rub for him. You know, honestly, feeling bad for him because they know he's like a sick dog.
What?
Um,
What the?
yeah, what the? Yeah. But yeah, I mean that concludes
You
everything.
guys called me sus.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so we talked about everything from the live action movie. We gave our honest inputs on it, what we think of it. The statue, that's the new Gundam statue. The new Gundam, I mean. The new Gundam statue being developed. We talk about what our intake was on the AEUG, Titans, a little bit of Xeon, a little bit of Federation, a little bit of Hathaway. So I think we covered everything pretty well. So, all right, guys, this is Freedom and CJ and T-Von. We wish everybody a good night. And remember...
Easy, y'all.
Wait, what?
I said, suck it easy, y'all.
Oh, my goodness. All right, and remember, guys, we are all space engineers here. So everybody have a wonderful and great night, and thank you for listening. And also, I will be posting the Discord the Discord link in the description. Everybody's more than welcome to join. Where everything is all Gundam. We talk about fan theories or whatever, or at least coming up soon. The website will be made and also posted on there as well. We will be on Spotify. We will be on Google soon and Apple. So make way for that. Anyways, good night, guys. Thank you for listening. And remember, you are all space engineers.